And we're live!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Those Aren't Biscuits, featuring me, Jonathan Cadotte, and as always, Owen Adams. Say hi, Owen.
Hello, how you doing?
Welcome. If you don't know, we are a weekly pop culture talk show interactive thingamajigger. We play games, we talk about random shit, you respond and make comments, and we'll talk to you. Simple as that. Can't get any more clear than that. Today we are playing Fortnite. Look at it, Fortnite. It's the game that it's been buzzing up the charts. And this week at #1, it's Fortnite.
Are you a little sleepy this week, John?
That thing you do. Oh no, man. I'm in a weird mood. I actually am in a really weird mood.
I can tell.
It does have a little bit to do with, I don't know. Didn't want to throw this right out there, but it is my birthday today. And,
happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. That's not the song, but you know.
Yeah, you know, you can sing the happy birthday song. You don't have to pay royalties anymore, right?
No, I know. I just thought it'd be interesting to switch it up a little bit, John. I'm sorry. I won't next time.
But yeah, it's kind of got me in a weird mood. Not depressed per se, but it's like, I don't know. I had a good time in my 20s, you know. I wasn't like some wild and crazy guy. A couple of wild, crazy guys, but yeah, I had a good time, and it's kind of a strange feeling to be like, oh, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm in my 30s. I guess supposedly I'm supposed to actually start doing something with my life.
It's a very weird psychological difference when people ask to tell people you're 30. From 29 to 30, it sounds and feels completely different in your brain.
Right.
I don't know why, but it does. And you're right, it's this idea that you're officially outside of the period that you would call youth now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you're in adulthood, and then next is middle age. Yep. It's the knowledge that it's probably, like, all downhill from here, you know? Like, that was it. You might as well take a shotgun to your face now and just stop being a drain on society's resources.
Right, and unfortunately that is absolutely a result of, like, how they show shit in, like, sitcoms and movies and stuff like that. It's always like, you know, like, oh, these young, attractive 20-something-year-olds, and, you know, I think it's actually only been kind of recently where you've seen any sort of movie or show that stars someone, like, not in their 20s, but still kind of being fun. It's been it's always been like, oh, mother and father, well, I mean, or, you know.
It's been a phase. Like, I would say prior to the mid-90s, it used to be more like that.
Hello, Emile DeForge, by the way. Hello.
Hello to Emile DeForge. How you doing? You know, I think we went through a phase there where we were very youth-centric in media. You know? Mm-hmm. We might be coming out the other side now. Shall I kick the game in? Shall we go?
Yeah, let's get this started.
I haven't played this in quite a while.
But yeah, that is probably the reason behind kind of my my weird mood. Like, and then, like, last night I decided, like, okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm not gonna go, you know, go get crazy drunk or nothing, but, like, I'll go have a couple, you know, relax, get out of the house for a little bit. I you know, I know enough people in this town that I'll probably run into someone, and I did. And but, like, as it's ticking closer to midnight, that 30 hour, I'm watching TV and the Winter Olympics are on, and I'm watching curling.
Can I just say, before you say this, I want to just out myself right now. I love the curling. It is my favorite Olympic sport.
I do too. I do enjoy the curling. But it was still a weird moment where it's like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm drinking cheap beer at this dive bar. It's almost midnight. I'm almost 30 years old. I've almost lived 3 decades. And I'm sitting here next to a very drunk person and I'm watching curling.
Should we go for Dusty Depot?
Sure.
Go for it.
I'm going
I'll
right
meet you there.
now.
Right, I mean, let's face it, it would have been significantly worse if you'd rolled around to 30 years old at home alone, speaking to no
Right.
one. The moment going unmarked, except by the slow, gradual decay that's setting in your bones.
I mean, to be fair, like, I wasn't really talking that much to the guy next to me, so it was kind of...
Kind of the same.
Yeah, it was kind of the same, except there's neon lights and posters of... faded, yellowed posters of half-naked women on the wall, you know? Just...
So it's interesting because, like, I am obviously kidding. I didn't care that much about turning 30. But it's something that's, oh my god, I got a minigun.
Holy shit.
Things have changed since the last time I was here. So
Right.
I'm one of those people who doesn't do stuff on my birthday. Like, my girlfriend likes to get me gifts, but I don't see family. I don't even see friends that often. Like, because what I most want to do, if someone says to me, what do you want to do most, like, in your entire, like, what is the thing you really want to do? And it's short notice. I'm not talking, like, aspirations. Like, if someone said, hey, do you want to go to Paris? I'd love to, but you know what I mean? But if someone says, hey, something's coming up next week, and you've got something you can organize in a week, what do you really want to do? What I really want to do is have the day off. Do you know what I mean? I want to chill out and let my brain relax a little bit. I've talked before about how, like, I have issues with anxiety and things like that. The thing that makes what's a treat for me is knowing I have nothing to worry about for a few hours. That's great. That's what I do. So when my birthdays roll around, I have a nice, chilled out, relaxing day. But my girlfriend actually finds it a little tricky to understand that that's how I chose to run in my 30s, just watching TV. And it was great, and I don't care.
I think we should hole up in this right over here for a while until the next...
Yeah, well, we're right on the edge, so...
Right.
Wait, how the hell do you pull up the... Oh, there we go, it's a touchpad.
Oh,
Sorry,
whoa.
I've begun dancing. I do apologize.
Like, who's dancing out there? I'll find you.
Hello to Sam Foreman, how you doing? Welcome.
Hey, Sam.
So what you been doing this week, buddy?
Not a whole lot. I did go shopping with my mother the other day.
Whoa.
Because that was her thing.
Whoa, and people say you're getting old. People say you're slowing down in your old age, getting less interested, not the rebellious young youth you used to be.
Well, yeah. How do you crouch?
R3.
I got it. But that's kind of her thing. Like, when it comes to giving me gifts, like, she doesn't necessarily like buying me gifts anymore. She's like, I'll just take you out, and I'll buy you something. And yeah, she took me out and bought me a record, like some socks and stuff, and
the hipster special.
Kind of weird.
Vinyl and socks.
Record and Scott. Yeah. But she also got me, oh god, what was it? Shoes. She got me new gym shoes because mine had been falling apart.
Mustache comb. Monocle.
Mustache comb. Yeah.
V-neck sweater.
Right, but it's a little small. So my shirt underneath comes out the bottom.
VHS player.
8-track. A beer of the month club membership. All IPAs all the time.
A Bob Dole election button.
An ironic "Make America Great Again" hat. But then, like, the thing that kind of really got to me was she got me a new controller for my PlayStation, which I've been in desperate need of. And
I actually need one of those too. Something to discuss in this area.
Right, because I don't know if anyone knows about the PS4 controller. Amazing controller. You know, I mean, they haven't changed much since the first PlayStation. It's a little bit wider. It's
It's comfy. It's very comfy.
It has a touchpad, yeah, but it's kind of a damn near perfect controller, I think.
The only controller I find more comfy is the Xbox 360 controller, and then they've just sort of changed that for no reason on the Xbox One, so it's less comfy. Just so you don't get the Xbox One and be like, hey, why can't I just use my 360 through these? These are the same. Like, that's the only reason.
But so the PlayStation controller has this kind of issue, at least for me, where the rubber nubs on the analog sticks rub off really easily.
Yeah, I had that with one of them.
Yeah, so that happened, and then the triggers stopped like springing back on me.
Yeah, did the hinge break?
I don't know, but like for the last
I've had 3 controllers go like that.
Right. So for like the last year, I've had it where my L2 button wouldn't come back. I'd have to push it up manually with my my middle finger. Let's see here, real quick. Why are you streaming on Monday? This will probably be our normal day from now on. Oh, is that you running around? Yeah. Okay.
It is. I'm just periodically checking out this door. We're waiting for the circle to compress. People don't know what we're doing.
Whoa. There's someone.
Where?
I don't know. You can hear him. I think he's outside our thing. He's there. He's there. There he is. Oh my god, he got away. Oh god, there's another one. There's another one. Be careful, he's coming back in. He's coming back in.
No! I didn't have a ton of minigun ammo. Okay, it says Budweiser Beer of the Month Club. This month it's High Life.
That's a Miller product, Sam. Alright, so... God
that was
damn,
that wasn't Sam.
Well then, or you have no reason, sir, you're American. You should know that.
Hello to Mr. James. How you doing?
Lobby.
To the lobby.
Hey, Mr. James. So as you can see, we're not very good at this. Anyways,
I've had lots of controllers break because of the triggers. What happens is the little hinges break and then the springs come out. And I've got another issue with the trigger on my current controller where the spring doesn't have enough bounce to actually push the trigger all the way down. So I actually can't do the first tutorial level on Gran Turismo Sport because it's just a drive to the finish line in time. I can't accelerate fast enough. And I've been playing Arkham Knight with the Batmobile only able to get up into 3rd gear. So everywhere I drive, it just goes... but isn't driving that fast. Mildly amusing.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Alright, so I got the controller, and I get it home, and I open it up, and I'm like, okay, where's the little cord?
Hello to the Jolly Gamer, welcome.
And there's no little cord.
Yeah, they don't supply them with the spares.
Yeah, and I did not know this, alright? So I look up the instructions. You need a fucking micro USB cord to pair it with the system. It won't do it wirelessly.
Yep.
Oh, thank God it's just a micro USB cable. I have hundreds of them, but
by the way, not a lot of them work for charging. I have to charge with the one that either came with it or the one that came with the PSVR, or they don't work.
All right, let's go. Let's go to that like rocky thing right over here, to the left. I'm dropping now.
All right, rocky thing.
It's like straight down. I can't tell what kind of, like a suburb? Is it a suburb? Yeah.
Oh, this is the new area. See you later, Mr. James. Okay, it says they do not include a charging cable. No, they don't. You get one when you first get your console, and then you don't get one with spare controllers.
Ooh, we got a lot of people coming in.
Jolly Gamer says, I love this game. It's a good game. Yeah, Jolly's only just started playing this. I think, right?
Well, I hope you're better than we are.
Well, he won a duos today. Bastard.
Just leave, Jordy. just leave, okay?
Have you had a win yet? I have not had a win in this game
No, I
at
have
all.
not.
And I don't much like people who have.
And I don't intend to. Just. Oh wait, hold on. I hear running.
Yes, me. Booga, 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 booga. Where are you?
That is not you. That is not you.
Okay, no, we're quite far away from each other. Sorry, John.
There.
I thought you were in the same building as me.
There, I downed him though.
I'm coming to you.
Oh God!
Do.
Please, Owen, help me! Damn it, I'm down.
Jay Crizzle, no!
Oh God, I'm dead. Get out of there, Owen. Get out of there.
That came from behind!
Just leave the area. It's not safe.
I did make it to, the final 2. I made it to 2nd place the other day. Have you ever made it that late on a singles game and everyone's just building towers in a tiny circle? Yeah.
You were there when I was in the last 2, remember?
Was I? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But,
have you seen people these days?
Okay,
like, people have come a long way in this game, though, now. They now can build these amazing
it's crazy
towers.
what people are doing. Yeah. I will never get that.
I spent most of my time hiding in a bush.
Yeah. That's how I spend my evenings as well.
Johnny Gamer says, best on solo is 6th for me. 2nd place is still my bad. I'm still pretty proud of that 2nd place. I think I did okay with that.
So, I mean, back to the controller issue, right?
Okay, so, new controller, no charging cable.
How the fuck do you sell a product for $65 because, God forbid, you can't find just a straight black controller anymore, which is only $60. You have to get one of these weird colored ones. So I have this lovely red one. It's actually kind of cool looking. But it comes out to be like $68 with tax.
Right.
And it doesn't come with a little cord that probably costs a fraction of the cent to manufacture. It weighs less than nothing, so it's not going to increase your shipping weight all that much. Like, how do you do that? How do you just not include that? All right, look, I have a message. All right, I have to speak to Sony PlayStation. All right, if you are listening, I need to talk to you. All right.
And let's face it, we know they are. Why wouldn't they be?
We've had a lot of good times, Sony. We really have. All right, from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2, you saw me through my formative teenage years. You've seen me grow into a man. And yes, we had that hiatus in between where I was playing the Xbox 360 and not the PS3, all right? But you have to understand, the 360 was willing to do the things that you wouldn't, all right? And I had to experiment. I had to see what else was out there, all right? But when PS4 came, we rekindled our old flame, and we had both grown up. We were willing to try again and see ourselves into a more sophisticated relationship. But I have to tell you, PlayStation, when this happens, this sort of thing happens, I don't think you're committed enough to this relationship.
Can I say something
I'm starting to see the cracks. I'm starting to see the cracks.
Can I say something that will rekindle your romance? Firstly, just to play devil's advocate for a moment, they do know that everybody's got a cable, because they all got one with the console. But I agree, it probably should come in with it. Xbox One is still using double A's. So deal with it.
Just
like you can get rechargeable battery packs, but you have to buy them separately. Fortunately, you can get
now who's Mr. Pro Business? Huh? Now who's just, oh, that's just the way it is. Deal with it.
No. I'm with you in that I think they should include a charging cable.
It's the ethics of the matter, huh? Does that sound familiar? It's the ethics.
But I'm telling you, and I agree. But I'm just letting you know, you will not find comfort in Xbox's arms. They are still using double A's.
I don't know, man. PC Master Race is sounding better and better. Just
Well, at least with PC Master Race, you can just plug in your controllers and just use them.
oh, hi, Ninth Dimension Game. Welcome.
In on the new PS4s, if you use them plugged in, they actually use a wired connection. On the old PS4s, if you use them plugged in, they just use wireless while plugged in. But since they introduced the Slim and the PS4 Pro, they both they will actually use wired connections. I've been thinking about getting one just for that. No, I'm not. I've been considering. I'm open to one day picking up a cheap PS4 Pro for 1080p streaming, but it'd have to be a great deal, you know. And I'd probably...
Okay, Sam, you won 9 solo matches on Fortnite. Okay, leave. Sorry. Go ahead.
And it would be a case where I do something I don't normally do, which is I would actually get rid of my current PS4 for it. You know, I wouldn't hoard. I'd trade in everything. Okay, says a long cable like the one included might cost $1. They aren't long. No, They absolutely should include one, but
Was it like what, 2 inches long?
I totally agree that they should include one. I'm just saying that you don't expect Xbox to be the savior of your problems unless you've got to deal with the Duracell company.
Hey. Look, I'm not above bringing in accessories into the relationship, okay? I'm willing to expand my horizons.
Loose Corner says, the only bad thing about the Xbox One, in my opinion, is the fact you can't stream to YouTube on it. I would get much more use out of it if you could stream to YouTube on it for sure. I don't think that's the only bad thing about it. I think the operating system is out and out a complete mess. I've never played a console... I've never owned a console with as incomprehensibly badly designed an operating system as the Xbox One. And the worst thing about it is...
It's built on the Windows architecture, isn't it?
Well, it is, but it doesn't... It does not...
like an outdated one. It doesn't work on that sort of system.
It doesn't... If it had exactly the same interface as my Windows 10 tablet, it would be fine. It doesn't work anything like that. Everything's hidden away behind the ads. Menus are like... So everything's accessed to these tabs at the top, and the tabs are the smallest font. And it says things like home, store, things like that, right? But there's no tab that says games, right? Your top tabs are things like home, store, setting, things like that, right? You have to go to home, and then you have to go down to a page that says my games and apps. And it's another little small tab. And then that loads up a menu that has all your games installed. And then you've got categories like my games, my apps, ready to install, things like that. And that's, once you get there, it's fine, but you got to get there and it takes ages. And then there's a subsystem where you can then pin certain things to your dashboard, right? So you can have things on your front page where they're always easy to find, and you can choose specific games to say, okay, I'm going to have this one, I'm going to pin it there. But you have to do that manually for anything you want on there. And if you then delete the app, it doesn't remove the pin. It keeps games you deleted a long time ago pinned. So you have to pin and unpin anything manually. So they make a big deal out of how, you can customize it to have it exactly how you want it. No, you can't. You can change that one thing, and it's shit. It is terrible.
And the weird thing is, the weird thing though is that I've used the Xbox app on my tablet. That works just fine.
Yeah, the app's nice.
Yeah.
Hello, Fuzzy Weasel. How you doing?
How does that work? Oh, hi, Fuzzy. How's it going?
Okay, it says printers here don't tend to include a cable either, and the store employee is eager to point you over to the $20 plated USB cables.
Yep.
Well, you see, that is a bigger issue than the controller for me, because at least the controller uses standard micro USB. Printers tend to use, like the full USBs with the big square end, don't they?
Yeah.
You only get on big, high power devices.
Although I will admit, the last couple printers I've had to buy did all come with everything you needed. So,
well,
I don't know if that's just something that
I can honestly say, like, I've never had a printer that didn't have all the cables, so I can't speak to that.
Don't get me wrong. I have bought a printer in the past that did not come with the proper cables, but that was a long time ago.
I still think it was pretty gobsmacking of Nintendo with the 3DS XL to not put the charger in. And then they were like, and like the thing is, when you listen to their reasoning, there's a little bit of sense to it at first, right? Which is that, well, a lot of people already have a DSi. A lot of people have either had a DSi in the past, or a DSi XL, or a 3DS, and they all use the same charger, so it lets people who don't need a charger have one for cheaper. That, when you phrase it like that, it sounds reasonable, but I honestly think the goal is to not supply the charger, knock it off the price, and then convince people that that's how much it costs when they'll be expecting to get one, you know?
Right. Technology!
Well, do you know, I have to say, though, with Apple going with USB-C for the laptops, and the Switch being USB-C powered, which is great, by the way, because it meant, rather than buying a second charger, we just bought a USB cable, you know? I'm hoping that USB-C ends up taking over a lot of those things, and becoming standard in the way micro USB did.
This looks like it could be bait.
Yeah. I agree.
Keep your eyes peeled. There's definitely got to be some people up in there.
For sure.
No, maybe not.
Well, if you look at where it's scattered, it could easily be a sniper.
Right.
Picking off people as they approach. But I also don't want to be cut off from behind.
Right. Maybe you just get in there and find yourself a little hidey hole.
Perch. I'm going to take the stairs, see if I can get to the high ground.
Anakin, I have the high ground. Have you seen that little video of Darth Vader has a flashback?
No.
It shows that scene from Return of the Jedi where Luke jumps over him and ends up on like a catwalk above Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It just zooms in really close on his face, and you just hear Buffalo Springfield. There's something going on. And also it flashes back to Anakin, I have the high ground, and cutting off his legs and falling into the fire. And then it comes back to Return of the Jedi and shows, because Darth Vader just throws his lightsaber then at him. It's really funny. I don't care.
Okay, storm's closing in. I'm
here, Lipsy
fairly
the Game
certain.
says, I got... Ooh. See here, Lipsy the Game says, I got 10 people banned on Fortnite already for cheating, and any more cheaters out there, I'll get them bonded as well. It's so funny. And it got about 5 people who report him, so we're just going around reporting people on Fortnite on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Huh.
Fair enough, if they're cheating. I'm not cheating,
I guess
though,
if they're
so
cheating. Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure they're actually cheating, because if you're just doing that just to be an asshole, then, well, you're an asshole.
Whoa!
Is that a trap?
I don't know.
I think it was a trap. It's a trap.
Well, he volunteering to lead the assault on his own in just an unarmed fighter.
Even though he clearly knows it's a trap.
Our bravest soldier.
Oh, it was a trap.
Hey, I found the trap.
All right, entertain the people real quick. I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee.
Okay. Well, John's getting out of here. I'm come to entertain you people. What shall I do? Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dack a pound. Sorry, I've been watching Cheers. It's a very amusing episode where when Norm goes for a job interview. I'm now confusing John and Norm. They're so similar, with their love of beer and their hatred of their unseen wives. You can always tell these good players with the knight's armor, they basically just kill you. The amount of times I've been killed by these people dressed as knights is rather annoying at this point. How are you guys doing, by the way? We're going to be talking about some more things going forward. I'm going to finally talk about Creep 2, which I meant to talk about last week and I completely forgot. I've got to remember to do that. We're just waiting for John to get back and we'll get into the game. Other than that, this week we've got a few things to talk about. I'm going to be talking about Junji Ito comics, and I don't know, maybe John has something interesting to share. These two are still alive in a pair, that's pretty good. We're just watching the other players while we wait for John to get back. This guy's dressed as the elf from Elf. That's deeply distressing. I'm not a huge fan of that film. Hit those like buttons, guys. Hope you're having fun. If you guys are new here, we do a talk show every week where we play a game and we chat, and it's pretty good. So yeah, I've been reading a lot of Junji Ito horror comics, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. I think John might be interested in those. He's a manga artist who does a monthly, has been doing for several years now, a series of horror comics, and I think that would be pretty good. What? What are you not, John?
The way you phrased that sentence made it sound like I am a manga artist who's been doing this for years.
Well, you are, aren't you?
I gave up that life.
Never again.
Too much pain. People paid the price. Mistakes were made.
Do you think that's what T-Pain stands for?
Terrence Pain.
Too much pain. Too much pain. Or do you think he scalded himself on some hot tea? T-Pain!
Yeah, because he just immediately starts speaking like a caveman. T-Pain! Pain!
Years later, he changes his name to Coffee Pain and announces he's suing McDonald's.
Oh, I feel so bad for that woman.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Tell us a money-making scheme. Huh.
Oh, I didn't prep, but that was like a one-off joke, by the way. The thing about it being a weekly segment was a joke.
I don't know. I did start working one out. I can give you the brief rundown.
No, let's wait till it's perfect.
No. Here. I'll give you the basic rundown, alright? So, it was... The title of it was called Owen's 11, alright?
And I am!
Now...
Sorry. So let's go to Retail Row.
Okay, I want to pin that on the map. I don't really know exactly
can you see my pin?
No. Oh wait, yeah, I can. Holy shit! All right, I'm gonna jump out now then. But so it's called Owen's 11, and the premise is
sorry. I thought I could get a second laugh out of it, and I wasn't wrong.
So, Owen's 11.
Yeah, I'm not going for 3. That would just be silly.
Just making sure if you're going to go for the hat trick or not. Oh, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it!
Alright, let's stop here instead then.
Oh shit, I'm on the way. I'm going for it. But, so, the premise is that Owen is a well-known internet celebrity at this point. You know, he's right on the same level as
PewDiePie's
people.
dog.
Right. He's on the same level as PewDiePie's dog. Oh god, I'm being shot at. Don't come to Retail Row. Don't come to Retail Row. Leave me alone.
Coming to Retail Row to save you.
No, he's gonna pickaxe me to death. Oh god.
This is supposed to be
horrific.
duos, Jonathan.
You're the one who said Retail Row. All right.
Right, and then I said, before you'd landed, I said, no, let's stop here, because we're not going to make it.
Well, I was almost there. But, so, Owen, as you know, as I've been saying, Owen is a famous YouTuber now who has adoring fans. But the thing is that a lot of people don't know what he looks like. All right, and especially like, you know, foreign audiences.
Okay, yeah, true.
They definitely don't know him. Like, you know, I doubt they have any idea what he looks like in Malaysia or Gibraltar or Canada. You know,
all the places ending with
right.
Except for America.
Gibraltar. So
yeah,
I
makes
thought,
sense.
okay, well, what we gotta do is basically form a interchangeable core of Owens, right? Like a small platoon of Owens that we can send out into the world, to these different places at any time to make public appearances.
Like Batman Incorporated, but me.
Yeah. Basically. The trick is, we need a group of people who look kind of like Owen. Alright? So I have a few people already in mind. Larry David. Patrick Stewart. The lead singer of The Fray.
Larry David?
Yeah. Alright, how about Salty Springs? Oh,
Good.
shit. I jumped out.
Go for
hit the
Salty
wrong
Springs.
Going for Salty Springs. Who else here? The guy who played the brother of Rebel Wilson from Bridesmaids. I don't remember his name.
Matt Lucas?
Yeah.
From Little Britain?
Yeah.
You know what, my
Let's see it.
money-making schemes were, like, bold, ambitious, but they weren't just insults.
What, are you suggesting that that's an insult to be... And then I think you need to apologize to Matt Lucas. I'm sure some people think of him as a very handsome man. All right? But
Oh, yeah.
you're missing the point. You're missing the point completely, all right? We just need a group that looks a little like you. Not exactly like you, just a little. Right? Now, oh God. I thought that was gonna spring on me. It's because what we're gonna do is we're gonna send them out as you. Right? When you
Is it worth mentioning that
Megan-
Matt Lucas, Patrick Stewart, Larry David, and... Like, my appearance might not be well known around the world, right? But these are all very famous people.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hello to Sinister Minister. Hello to Concan 2005. How you doing?
Right.
What I'm talking about is that Patrick Stewart, you know the name Patrick Stewart because he's already more famous than me.
But I also know you. So are you more famous than Patrick Stewart? Hmm?
No, because you know me personally.
Well, maybe I only got to know you because I knew you were famous. Hmm?
I can take that.
Maybe I'm just, you know, one of those, you know, celebrity whores. You know, I define myself by the level of celebrity I'm surrounded by.
Yes, you are my whore, John. I am okay with this designation.
The problem is I don't necessarily think we're going to be able to get Patrick Stewart and Matt Lucas and Larry David and the lead singer of The Fray
in the room
to go
together?
along with it. Well, just to kind of go along with it necessarily. You know, maybe if we had like some success right off the bat, we can get a couple. But the first round, they're just not gonna be into it until they have viable proof that this is working. But we do need them, so I think what we need to do essentially is clone them. But to do that, we need some of their DNA. So this is where you actually come in, all right? Because after this plan is set forth and on a roll, you can just sit back and reap the rewards.
This is where
right?
I come in, or this is where they come in me. I don't know where you're going with this.
Well, you know what?
I know what you mean by DNA.
If that's how you want to achieve it, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. There's plenty of room.
No, you're absolutely
for,
right.
Creativity.
You're
here.
absolutely right.
Whoa.
A terrific money-making scheme is that I fuck Patrick Stewart, whether he wants to or not. Well
Look,
done, Jonathan. Is this the
not
time for a
going-
plan like this?
Look, all right, you went with that, all right? Let it be known that I never said anything of the sort, all right? My suggestion is, look, we can't deny that there are some prejudices in the world, all right?
I come up with a hilarious jape involving you
Someone
robbing
is
an
gonna try-
aeroplane, and your response is that I sexually
Oh, God!
assault Captain Picard.
Yeah. No, that's not what I'm saying, all right? That is not at all what I'm saying. All right. What the hell is going on? It's like someone... Oh, I see someone building off to the west. I got a pistol. That's all I have, all right? Just to let you know.
Come on, let's go get him.
Yeah, let's go. For
Avengers.
the Owen Brigade!
Okay, it says Owen played by Ben Kingsley, and I wonder if Bruce Willis
There
can
you
pull
go.
off a partial northern accent.
Exactly. These all sound like viable...
Yeah, but now I have to
members?
assault Bruce Willis.
No, no one is saying that, Owen. You are very... Fuck, I'm down.
I'm also
Damn
down.
it.
I knew that was going to end in death. I just thought we might as well go for it.
Oh, yeah. Now, what I was suggesting is that because people kind of get along more with people who have the same, like, facial features as them, all right, it's just kind of thing. I'm not saying, like, race or color, but, like, when people's faces are similar, people tend to get along. This is actually a proven fact, all right?
Right, but there's one huge glaring error in this plan, isn't there?
What's that?
None of these people's faces are remotely similar. They're just all bald.
I don't see what the problem is here. That is your most defining feature.
Thanks. I've got a beard. None of these people have beards.
Ben Kingsley does.
Sometimes. He didn't when he played
Bruce
Gandhi.
Willis did. Bruce Willis did in the beginning of Hostage.
No, you're right. No, I'm sorry. I was silly to object. Continue.
So what we need you to do...
Hostage.
all right?
I've seen Hostage. Of all the Bruce Willises to compare me to, Hostage Bruce Willis is the one you picked. I couldn't have been, like, charming, moonlighting Bruce Willis. No.
Well, he doesn't have a beard. I mean, you yourself laid down that parameter, so I don't think you have any room to complain.
I want to be, surrogates Bruce Willis.
With the full head of hair. And
Plastic skin.
right. Well, basically what I need you to do, Owen,
all
is you have
surrogates
to become
Bruce-
friends with these people. You have to become friends.
Right.
Alright? And that's where you come in. You gotta be friends. Because you immediately went to the whole sexual harassment thing and assault. I just want you to become friends with them. You can pick up DNA easier if you're a friend. Like well, I was going to say a strand of hair, but clearly that's out of the picture.
You are Randall from Clerksing me right now. I know what you meant by DNA.
Look.
All for the flying car.
But basically, that's the basis of Owen's 11, is that we need you to become friends with some of these beautiful bald men.
Is it 11 of them by any chance?
Well, you know, it's...
If you can right now name the 11 men, I'll do it.
Name the 11 men. All right. Lead singer of the Fray, Ben Kingsley, Bruce Willis, Patrick Stewart, Matt Lucas,
How many's that?
James Avery, the guy who played, or Brooks Avery, the guy who played Captain Sisko.
He doesn't look anything like me. I will admit, he is bald and has a beard. But there's one glaring difference I think you're overlooking.
I don't know.
He's at least a foot taller.
Let's go to the farm. I'm going to the farm.
Alright.
Let's see here. So where am I at? I'm at 6, right?
Okay, so it's fine. Should we pick Matt Lucas? Oh no, he's already had that one. Rebel Wilson's brother from Bridesmaids. Couldn't even get his name for that one. And yes, he's a regular on Doctor Who at the moment.
Oh, good for him.
He plays sort of a robot person. It's a bit weird.
Well, I mean, fair. You guys do have that in common. Oh.
There's a guy here. He's pickaxe only.
Shit.
I'm going for him.
All right, go for it. I got a gun. I'm coming your way. Pinch and maneuver. I see him. Oh, wait, no, that's a butterfly.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, I'm down! Save me, Johnny!
I am way far away.
No!
Oh,
shit. Mikhail, no! Stay alive, Johnny! Oh, there we go. I get to kick back and just watch Johnny play for a bit. Go, Johnny, go, go, go! You're down in Wisconsin, something New Orleans. We're back up in the cheese and the milky trees.
The milky trees?
Milk. Trees.
Milk. Oh, come on!
Milky trees.
Milk.
People are not familiar with our wide cast of characters that pretty much got dropped when we became a live streaming show.
There's another one. Haftgore Bjornsson.
Who's that?
I don't know.
That's not a person, that's a type of sausage. Oh, it's the actor who plays the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Bald and
He's
bearded.
Not bald.
He's pretty bald.
Tell you, that's his face.
Look, you don't know how confrontational I can be. I probably would. I'd regret it, but I probably would. Let's see here. Who else can I get?
You just turn up in a hospital, your friends are crowding around. Jonathan, how was the Game of Thrones convention?
Here, I have 2 Carls, actually, I can add to the list. The actor who played Carl Winslow in Family Matters, and
I said
Carl
name them. You haven't even managed to name the lead singer of the Fray yet.
I think his name's like Caleb. Caleb Wilkinson.
Caleb, made-up name.
Look, are you disputing that's his real name? I'll have you know, made-up names is a very prestigious family from Massachusetts, okay?
Steve.
They are steel barons.
Steve, first nom de plume I thought of.
Yeah, they're French offshoot of the family, all right? The ones who didn't come over on the Mayflower.
Let's go to Tilted Towers, because that's a new place. I don't think you'll have been there yet, right?
Yeah, let's go. I'm jumping. I have no idea where it's at.
Just follow me.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see.
It's skyscrapers-y.
Oh.
Kind of. Tall buildings.
But there you go. There's my money-making scheme. Because as soon as we get our group together, those guys can go out and be you and make all that sweet... Oh, good. Well, time for some of that hot action. Let's go. Oh, wait. I can land on the roof and get some guns. Yay. Pick up the gun. Pick up the gun.
Well, I've got bandages, first aid kits, and no guns. Oh, a grenade.
Someone's coming your way, though.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart by the sound of it.
I'm coming, Owen. I'm coming.
That's what Patrick
I'm
Stewart
making
said.
the suicide. Okay, look. Once again, never say anything about that. That one's solely on you. And I don't blame you, right? Patrick Stewart's a sexy man, but show some restraint, for God's sakes. He's gonna be you soon.
What if it turns out as Tom Hardy, though, like in Star Trek Nemesis?
Are you suggesting that being Tom Hardy is a problem? Or being mistaken for Tom Hardy is a problem?
No, I'm saying, what happens if we clone Patrick Stewart, but we get Tom Hardy?
Oh. Well, then we have Tom Hardy. We can shave him.
Shaving Tom Hardy. The making of documentary.
I feel like we should just go and, like, follow the gunfire and just try to finish off what we find.
Sure. Speaking of Tom Hardy, there's a trailer for Venom.
Yeah.
I have not been following the development of the Venom movie, so it hadn't actually clicked with me that Tom Hardy
Owen,
was Venom.
Please help me.
John, please help me. Hey, buddy.
Fuck.
We're all into each other. It hadn't actually clicked to me that that Tom Hardy was Venom until I saw they said, hey, the trailer for that Tom Hardy Venom movie's out, and I was like, of course it's Tom Hardy. Like, Tom Hardy is basically every 90s comic book character right now. I'm surprised he wasn't the Punisher and Cable and Rob Liefeld's Captain America. And the thing is, I like Tom Hardy in stuff. The weird thing about he's picking some stuff I'm not interested in seeing.
Yeah, like Tom Hardy he's that actor who like one film is like, oh my god, this guy could be an Oscar nominated actor, and then he does Bane, or then
right,
then he does the weird movie where he's a Kentucky bootlegger and tries to put on a Kentucky accent, and it doesn't work.
See, I like Bane, don't get me wrong. And I really liked him in Mad Max, actually. I thought he was really great in that.
Oh yeah, that's like a favorite role of his. Granted, he didn't talk, but
for me, casting Tom Hardy as Venom is a little bit like when people go, oh, Hugh Grant should be the next version of the Doctor. Do you know what I mean? You're like, well, it's just... Right. It's or, A-list British guy.
Or, like, Idris Elba should be everything.
Right. I mean, I've jumped out, by the way. I wasn't really thinking.
Oh, yeah, I'm going.
I have some empathy.
Should we just go to this really big, wide area?
Yeah, let's do it. I have some empathy for the Idris Elba should be everything guy, because Idris Elba's great, but you're right, like... It seems such a strange thing to cast him as Venom. But I mean, I think it's weird they're making a Venom movie anyway. Like, we talked a little bit about this. I don't feel like it's really the time. It just feels like it's just going to confuse everything.
There's so many people.
Well, I got a gun today.
Alright, well, I'm going for your building. I'm going to go into the bottom.
So let's do it. Let's talk about the Venom trailer. I'm dead, by the way.
Are you already down?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Let's do it. Let's talk non-stop Venom action.
Cool.
There's a Venom trailer.
Oh god, fuck you.
Well done.
Now, I knocked down one.
I'm gonna go with the most pressing question I have about the Venom trailer, right?
Sure.
Do you have what could be classified as an opinion about it in any way?
The MRI technology these days has gotten really more advanced than it used to be.
It was exactly what I would expect from a Venom trailer. No more, no less, except for the fact that Venom wasn't in it.
You know, and that's my thing, too. My thought is, clearly they are not done making that CG, right? Like, it was probably pressure put on because of, you know, everything else that's coming out. Deadpool and Avengers Infinity War and Black Panther and New Mutants. It's like, well, we better throw our hat in the ring. What do we got? Well,
Venom.
We have Tom Hardy looking pretty pensive a lot, and a voiceover bit that we actually don't even know who says it.
But this is just going to be a bit like when they made that Steel movie that wasn't part of the Superman universe with Shaq in. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to be that.
I think what you're speaking of is all the Superman movies that weren't part of the Steel universe.
Where'd you want to go?
Let's go off to, was it Southwest right now? That little area.
Okay. I'm jumped.
Going. After this, we should probably stop going to populated areas and try to play this right.
Oh, we're going to this fairly big place here?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We joke about 90s comics a lot, and 90s comics certainly were, like, the big period for, comics are edgy and stuff. But I don't hate it, because at the same time, it is, like, the time period I grew up with comics.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, we're gonna die. So I don't hate Venom. I recognize the character's flaws, but I can enjoy him sometimes. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel about Venom.
I downed someone.
But Venom to me...
Where am I going to go from here?
I don't know. I'm trying to make this talk show, John. Talking my feelings about Venom.
Sorry. Go.
I'm kidding. Don't worry. Venom for me is a Spider-Man character. I have never read a Venom solo comic and been like, you know what? This guy could certainly carry a movie franchise. And so...
You haven't?
And so, like... While Sony are going to connect this to the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, they're going to be very limited in how they can connect it because, well, it's not a Spider-Man movie. Tom Holland is not a big part. I hear he's going to be in it, but he's not a significant part of this film. And so it just raises the simple question of how do you make a good Venom movie while completely separating him from Spider-Man?
Captain Britain, apparently. But
oh, you're completely down, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Venom to me does not strike me as the type of character who you can separate from Spider-Man and preserve his value as a character. Aha!
Nice. Behind you. Oh.
Damn it. Okay, right. Says, would you prefer to call the trailer Venom Begins? Because obviously, I agree. But this is obviously going to be a Venom whose origin has no connection to Spider-Man, right? In theory.
Hello, Gregory Whom.
Well, like, we're not gonna get a symbiote suit, are we? You know?
No, not at all.
But this is so weird to me because if you were to basically take away all the stuff that's been built up over the years about what all the plots and all the build up, separated from all the continuity and the various reboots and things, and just write down exactly what the Venom character is and what he means, without talking about things like symbiotes and things like that, as a purely conceptual level, what is he? He's Dark Spider-Man. That's Venom. He's the spider-themed villain who is evil. That's the character.
Right.
How do you take that and take Spider-Man? It would be a little bit like making, I don't know, a Joker movie.
This is how you do it, all right? All right, and okay, this is where I'm going to open up to the chat, all right?
Okay.
I want you guys all to write in the chat what your theory is going to be about what the plot is going to be, all right?
Well, I mean, they've got to go space symbiote, haven't they? I don't think they're going to take, like, the ultimate
sure. All right.
cancer cure suit.
Right. Let's just go with after the basics. You know, he's going to get his symbiote suit one way or the other.
It's going to be a space alien.
Yeah, space alien sort of thing. I mean, I think you already saw it in the trailer. There was, like, wreckage.
Wouldn't it be great if Tom Holland's cameo is a very quickly edited, complete and total recap of the symbiote suit saga in the credits? And they're like, I hate you, Spider-Man, for all that past history we have.
We are talking about Venom right now, Gregory.
The Venom movie. There's a trailer.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to lay down a marker, and we'll go to that, okay?
Okay.
Let's go...
Hey, ho, let's
there.
Go.
You got it?
Yeah. I'll go whenever.
Okay. On count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Alright, so here's my theory about what the plot is going to be, alright? Because, like you said, it's supposed to be kind of an aggressive character. He's an anti-hero, so he's going to have to find, you know, reasons to kill. But you can't play him up as being heroic either, right?
No, they're gonna go Wolverine with it.
Right. So yeah. So here's my theory. What's gonna happen is he's gonna be playing Brock. Ooh, I don't want to go into that area.
Maybe he will actually be a photographer and work for the Daily Bugle, and they'll mention that he's trying to get pictures of Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, it's set in San Francisco.
Is it? Oh, he won't be an editor for the Daily Bugle.
Like, I'm pretty sure it is. That's what it looks like in the trailer. It doesn't look like New York.
He'll work for a hybrid car factory, and on the weekends he runs a mobile wagon selling Spanish frittatas.
Right. You know, he works for BuzzFeed.
But he's not a photographer. He's a concept artist who does artistic renditions of courtroom events.
Mm-hmm. All right. I suppose we can go through this area, see if we can loot it a little bit. All right. So he's going to end up with the symbiote, you know, by complete accident, and you know, they're going to establish him as being kind of a rough character right off the bat, like, oh, you know, maybe he's not making enough money, and you know, he lost his girlfriend or something, but some evil corporation is going to find out about him with the symbiote, right?
Oh, do you think they'll do it like the Wolverine movie, the second one? Like, testing, people will be trying to track him down, he'll be on the run.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
how I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a on the run,
like E.T., but anti-hero.
Yeah, right. And it's going to take a while, but he's going to figure out that, okay, he has this symbiote, and he's going to become Venom, and he's like, oh, well, in that case, I'm going to take the fight to them. Holy shit. It's got myself a pretty nice gun.
Oh, wow, this pitch is sponsored by Durr Burger. Eat it.
Oh, you've never had a delicious, steaming Durr Burger before?
Yeah, I ate it.
Yeah, so you've had the Durr Burger inside you.
Oh, the soccer ball just goes to the
Do you have a gun?
Yeah, a pistol.
Okay. All right, I'll
take
give
it
you.
to fight.
Do you want an SMG or do you want a shotgun?
I don't really care. Whatever you want rid of.
Okay, how do we bring up the... I can't remember how to bring up the inventory. Shit.
It's like start menu. Oh no, it's up on the D-pad.
Got it. Okay.
Do you know what I really hope they do with this better movie? So, we were talking about this a little bit before. People who don't realize, this is not a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. But Sony currently still has the rights to Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming is a Sony movie that happens to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's made by the people who make the Marvel movies, not by Sony. But Sony makes all the profits because they own the rights to Spider-Man movies. It's a bit of a complicated arrangement, but basically because Sony owned the rights, they made a deal that said, you can use Spider-Man in Marvel movies, and when Spider-Man's in one of your movies, you keep all the money, and you can make Marvel Cinematic movie Spider-Man movies, but when they're explicitly Spider-Man movies, we keep all the money. That's the deal they made. Venom is
let's head towards the marker, but avoid tilted towers.
Okay.
All right, let's edge around it.
Can do, boss. Venom is it is not a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, but it is connected to Spider-Man Homecoming, so it's sort of an MCU movie, I guess. Which sounds to me like, whatever the deal is, they aren't allowed by Marvel to make it an MCU movie explicitly. Because if they could, I think they would. But I really would just like to see him go totally brazen with it. And I just fill it with references to Stark and Captain. Like, don't put him in. But just every inch is just full of, like, overt, but not quite saying it, references to Stark, S.H.I.E.L.D., Thor, Captain America, Doctor... Just every panel is total MCU thievery.
It's just like, wow, with your powers, you can become a hero. Like Iron Man and Captain America and Falcon and Spider-Man.
I think the symbiote came through that portal when those aliens attacked New York.
You know, when the Avengers saved the day.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Terrible movie, but I think it's probably going to be a terrible movie anyway.
Be careful, there's a trap in there.
I'm going to come try to rescue you.
Yeah,
okay, it says, Dr. Weird, Steel Man, Arachnid Man. Well, no, Arachnid Man is the one they're actually allowed to have.
Right.
Spider-Man and his amazing fronds.
Oh, okay, I have bandages.
I got a shield potion.
Healing up. Healing up. Just gonna heal up. Just keep on healing.
Dr. Weird.
Oh!
That was me. As I was changing my inventory, I accidentally had my trigger pressed down. Don't worry about it.
How... I hate that when games do this, where it's... Whoa, we're being shot at.
That's not me.
Top floor of the house across the way. Whoa, yep, he's there. Where is he? I can't tell. Is he in the window? Oh, no.
He was on the roof.
Sure is.
Oh, I'm down, John! Johnny, no!
I got you.
He's still shooting at us, Jonathan.
Yep, sure is.
I'm going in.
Oh, you're going in, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna die, but I'm going in.
Alright.
Oh, he's in the door! Oh, there's a trap.
Yep, there's a trap.
That's the trap that got you, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is.
Shuffle away!
Oh, God.
If you can make it inside, I could really use the help. Hey, buddy.
Oh, this is not a good place.
Save me, father!
Don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me, please don't notice me.
God, it's like the exact opposite of high school. going in Rambo style.
Oh, God.
To survive a war, you gotta become war. I'm down! I'm down! I'm shuffling! No!
Oh, I'm down!
That was fun.
But
I
yeah,
remember that. That was my first... Oh, no, I think you're probably right.
So, talk about Creep or your manga, please.
Oh, well,
We don't...
I had no idea you were so interested, Jonathan.
Because it's been like 3 weeks and we always forget.
No, yeah, so I watched a movie called Creep 2 recently, and I was kind of... it kind of took me off guard. Caught me off guard how good it was. So the first Creep was a film I saw a little while ago, and it was okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was not a badly made film, but basically very by the numbers. Not a lot of surprises in it, but interestingly done. And it was about a guy who... it's a found footage movie, and it's from the point of view of a cinematographer who is hired by a guy to meet him at a cabin in the woods to make a film, right? And when he gets there, the guy tells him, I'm dying, I've got a brain tumor, and I'm gonna die. And I have a son, and what I want to do is make a movie for my son, so he'll have something to, know me with, something he can watch back and know me about. So I want to take you to a few places my dad took me when I was a kid, and just do a few things,
We are talking about Creep 2, Ninth Dimension Gaming.
Although right now we're talking about the first Creep, because it's kind of relevant to talk about
first Creep. Sure.
Just to kind of explain how different they are. Let's go to Salty Springs. No, everyone's going to be going there. Let's go to Lonely Lodge, which we're passing right now.
Sure, jumping.
So, basically, as the guy's filming, the subject of his movie, Joseph, gradually becomes more and more odd, basically. He's got this puppet wolf's head mask that he wears, and he tells him that it's a childhood toy they used to have. But then later on, he tells him this weird story about how he wore it one night and assaulted his wife, and he tells these contradictory stories. Okay, I'm coming around the other side. And gradually, the cinematographer, Aaron, starts to get more and more concerned that Joseph actually isn't quite what he says he is and kind of means him some harm, Mm-hmm. And then his wife phones, and Aaron picks up the phone, and his wife says, look, I'm not his wife, I'm his sister, and there's something wrong with him, and you should leave. So he starts to panic, and he leaves the house, and Joseph won't let him. And eventually he manages to make his escape, but he starts receiving packages in the mail, and he starts to get concerned that someone's coming to his house at night, but the big conceit in the first Creep film is... Whoa, hello.
Oh.
This is going well.
This is just depressing.
So the big conceit in the first Creep film is all the way through Aaron's trying to figure out if he's actually in danger and Joseph is actually someone who means to harm him, or if Joseph is just lonely and strange. Do you know what I mean? That's
right.
And you are waiting the whole way to kind of try and find out. And then eventually Joseph kills Aaron. I'm spoiling the end of Creep 1 because it's relevant to what I want to talk about with Creep 2. Joseph invites him to a public place in the middle of the day to meet with him and talk to him and stuff like that. And then he just comes up behind him and kills him with an axe. And then in the epilogue, Joseph is filming a little bit of an interview where he says, I just want you to know, Aaron, you were always my favorite because you never believed I could actually harm you. And then he puts the DVD away and it shows that he's done this to hundreds of people, right? He's got a huge collection of DVDs. And that was Creep. It was okay, but it was kind of mediocre. Do you know what I mean? There's some interesting ideas there, but it was a kind of a run-of-the-mill horror film. It wasn't very very frightening. It was kind of gentle. But there was enough there that when I watched it, I was kind of taken with it a little bit. I was like, that was a good time to watch a horror movie.
Right,
and then I saw that.
Marker.
Okay. And then I saw that Creep 2 had gone, in the UK at least, had gone pretty much straight up on Netflix, right? So I was like, okay, well there we go. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna take a look. Have you jumped yet? You ready to jump?
Nope.
Okay, you shout when to jump. We'll go.
Okay.
So
One,
okay.
2, 3, jump.
Okay. So I settled in to watch Creep 2. And Creep 2 might be one of the best sequels I've ever seen. It's still pretty low budget, it's pretty low key, and it takes its time. It doesn't throw a ton of stuff at the screen. Early on, it feels like it's going to be the same kind of thing, kind of run-of-the-mill. But it actually is a really great film. And
How so?
Well, Creep 2 follows a different cinematographer. She's a YouTuber, and she's making a video series called Encounters for YouTube, right? Where she makes videos about... Whoa, hello!
I'm down.
That was quick. Let's see if I can stay alive.
Yep.
She makes videos about people she's met in online dating, right? So she meets people in online dating she suspects of having strange tastes, goes to their houses, films little interviews with them, and then they have the kind of strange encounters, basically.
Get out of there!
No!
We are bad at this, everyone. Just to let you know.
So that's her setup, but then she gets an invite. She sees a message on Craigslist saying, would someone like to meet me for a unique filming experience? And so she's basically making no views on her video series. She's getting a little desperate, and she basically she decides she's gonna go for it. So she goes to meet this strange person, and it's the person from the first movie, Joseph, who is now, funnily enough, calling himself Aaron. They never spell it out in the movie, but he's taken the guy from the first movie's name, which I think was a nice little touch. They don't really mention it, but she goes to meet him. And it's a very similar setup. He's invited a cinematographer and he's filming, and you think it's going to be a kind of a Same Again sequel. But then he sits her down and says, she says, so what film do you want to make? And he basically says, okay, I'm a serial killer and I've killed hundreds of people, but I don't get the same thrill from it that I used to. And I just don't feel anything anymore when I kill people. It just doesn't do anything. And it used to be such a big part of my life that I kind of miss it, and I feel like this is kind of the end for me. And so what I want to do is make the ultimate, tell-all documentary about what it's like to be a serial killer, and I need someone to film it.
You want to call it?
Yeah, let's go to this place right below us. Let's do it.
Sure.
I jumped. And she agrees because she doesn't believe him, basically. Mm-hmm. But she thinks that this might be, the best episode of Encounters she's filmed yet. And as the night goes on, it takes place entirely over one night, as she becomes more and more aware of who he is and what's going on, and as he starts to explain, how he became who he is, but also starts to... It kind of builds, a romantic relationship. He starts to actually really like her and renew his feelings and wake up a little bit, but... He makes no secret of the fact that he's planning to kill himself after he makes the movie, right? Because he's got nothing to live for if he can't kill people. But as the movie goes on, you've got this torn thing because...
I mean, can relate,
Sure. It's got this torn thing because... This odd dual tension because as he is getting happier and she is, restoring his happiness because he's sort of falling in love... he's been completely honest with her, and his urge to kill is actually... Do you know what I mean? His desire to live and continue killing is also coming back with the improvement of his mood, Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, he's trying to essentially train her to be a new serial killer as well. Do you know what I mean? But she doesn't believe that he's actually a killer until, you know, further into the film.
Oh my god!
And I was kind of blown away with it. I was expecting a very mundane sequel to a fairly mundane film. And it's actually one of the most interesting experiences I've ever seen. And it's totally self-contained, too. There are things that come out of the movie if you've seen the first one. You don't need to have seen the first one at all to get... Because they open up with a sort of a pre-credit sequence of him killing another victim. So, you know watching this film...
So does she become a serial killer at the end, or what?
I think it's worth watching. The way it actually comes to the end and turns it around is interesting. But I can tell you if you want, for spoilers for people at home, I'm about to spoil Creep 2.
I'm okay with spoils.
She doesn't. As the night goes on, she gradually doesn't believe him, basically. She takes a long time to come around to the idea that he is actually a killer. And he eventually leads her out to a grave in the middle of the woods and tells her that, you know, he dug this for himself, right? But he didn't know when he dug it if it was going to be for him or her. And says, look, you stabbed me, and now I know. You stab me, I'll stab you, and we'll die in it together, you know? That's what he wants. And she's like, no thanks! And attempts to stab him, run away. I have accidentally jumped because I'm not really paying much attention.
Oh, sure.
But, tennis courts. I'm going straight down to these tennis courts.
Okay.
And, that is... Oh, they're not tennis courts. They look like them from above.
Right.
And they have a confrontation, and it doesn't end how you might think it would end. It's actually a really interesting horror movie. I think you might actually like it. It has very few in the way of jump scares. There are some jump scares in the film, but they are, in the context of the film, they are jump scares. Do you know what I mean? They are...
Okay.
They are literally a character jumping out at a camera trying to scare another character in the film, you know? Because in the first movie, Joseph would repeatedly like jump out on Aaron and frighten him, and they were the scares in the movie. In this one, he keeps trying to do that, but she's not fazed by it. He's getting more and more frustrated.
Oh, God!
Come and jump. Coming to save you, buddy.
I'm down. They're coming.
Where are they?
Right there. You're the worst.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. Hello to Herman. How you doing? But yeah, it was...
Hey, Herman.
It was a really good example of a sequel that elevated the premise set up from the original. Ninth Dimension Gamer says, one question, is this an old movie? No, Creep 2 is this year, I think, or late last year. It's a very, very recent film. But it very much worth watching.
Let's see here. He also asks if you do face cam, can you remove the black bar on the right and have a face cam in the top right? Not through the PS4 streaming function. You have to use something like OBS or XSplit, something along that nature.
No, you absolutely can. You just don't turn on. You don't turn on the comments.
Right.
If you turn on the comments, your face cam's always in that top space at the top right there.
Wait, you can run a face cam through PlayStation now?
No, you always could. You just need the camera. You know, the PlayStation camera.
Oh, the PlayStation camera. Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. Wasn't really thinking.
It's pretty good too. Good quality camera.
Yeah.
I got it for the VR, but I have done. That's why I did my face cam stream with on Minecraft. See you later, Gregory. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Yeah, for those of you watching, if you like, please like and subscribe. Help us. All right, I'll set a marker this time.
All right.
Let's go to Shifty Shafts. Hey. All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Cool. Hello to the Harvey channel. Welcome.
Hey, Harvey. So I too watched a, I guess you can consider it a sequel of sorts.
Okay.
Much older than your movie. This one came out 5 years ago, I want to say, at this point. I can't remember. Anyway, so I finally saw The World's End. Oh, we got people here. Which is part of the Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. Take him down! Yeah. Okay, great. Leave him be. Just pick me up before his friend comes.
His friend's coming. I can hear him.
Yep. Sure is. Alright. We should get out of here.
I'm just drinking a shield potion. Cover me.
I got you.
Well, that went well.
Yeah. So yeah, I finally saw it, and so it, for those who don't know, it goes, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End, right? And the thing is like the only thing that really connects them is that it's all the same characters, or not characters, actors, same director, and it's just this kind of the whole premise is irreverent takes on. Oh, we got someone. Irreverent takes on. Oh God, I'm down. Did you get him? No.
No. Apparently not. Yeah, they're called the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, the Cornetto trilogy. And so the one I hadn't seen was The World's End. And basically the premise is that this guy who basically can't let go of the past decides to get all his friends together through schemes and lies to do this legendary pub crawl that they never accomplished as kids. And
I have to say, by the way,
again.
That is my favorite part of the film. This character who is totally stuck in his high school years, because I know people like that.
Oh, absolutely.
He is one of the most real depictions of people you knew in high school in the world.
Right.
My favorite bit is when he says, "I remember I sold you a car just like this."
Yeah, this is it. Like, oh wow, you got that on a tape again. Where'd you get that? It's the same tape.
Yeah.
Where'd you find it? It was in the Beast. But yeah, it's, and so they go back and they're trying to do this, and as it turns out that the town has actually been taken over by an alien presence that has replaced people with robot shells.
Alright, we're going to Fatal Fields. So jump whenever you're ready.
Alright, you call it.
Go.
Oh, did you jump?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That's why I said whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay.
That's quite a far one. You might want to glide a little bit first. But I think these farms are some of the best places to go to.
So it comes down to him and his buddies have to fight an army of robots and try to escape town. Whatnot. But the thing is that the character played by Simon Pegg refuses to let go of their quest of completing this pub crawl, and in fact kind of puts them all in danger with this really stupid plan of his. That is, the plan solely is to accomplish the pub crawl, but he uses the robot alien menace to like disguise it, and And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm going to spoil it a little bit, but it gets to the end and they get confronted with the aliens, and he makes this basically this bold proclamation that, yeah, humans suck, Earth sucks, but damn it, we like it that way, and we'd rather have freedom and the ability to choose and do what we want. Rather than this perfect society that these aliens are suggesting. Because that's kind of the most interesting thing to me, is that these aliens who are replacing people with robots aren't really coming in anger or, you know, world domination. They're essentially trying to...
Oh, I'm down.
Oh, shit. Oh, I got... No, shit, I'm down. So they do it, and it's basically like the other movies where, you know, it starts out kind of a normal movie, then something weird happens, and then by the end it kind of becomes a real big joke. But I liked it. I actually really liked this movie. I don't think necessarily the plot was as compelling as Shaun of the Dead was. But it also wasn't as silly as Hot Fuzz was. I thought Hot Fuzz towards the end, Hot Fuzz at the end was kind of unwatchable. It got really bad to me because it traded any sort of like clever humor for just kind of silly humor. And
I think that's fair.
Yeah, and this one, I think, honestly, kind of has the most... World's End has the most heart of all the films.
World's End's the only one that I think I'd like more. That I think... Well, maybe not like more. I think I'd enjoy if it almost didn't have the aliens.
Right.
And I don't mean that necessarily as a criticism. I'm saying what's around the aliens is so good. Mm-hmm. It would almost work without them.
Alright, let's go to Shifty Shafts. Alright, so jump now. But yeah, it's... I mean, there's plenty of good humor in it. I kind of particularly like the bit where Simon Pegg's character continually tries to... or a couple of characters tries to get this girl in a bathroom to have sex with her, and he completely misreads the situation every time until he has to go in the bathroom to tell her about like what's going on. And I don't know, I found that pretty funny.
It's a good film. I think it's my least favorite of the three.
Right. And here's my thing. I think it's actually... I like it far more than I liked Hot Fuzz. I just did not care for that film at all. I mean, I liked it enough. I thought it was funny, and I can enjoy it, but at the end of the day, it was just... It's one that I don't think I would ever sit down to watch again. But I would watch World's End, and I would watch Shaun of the Dead again.
I was thinking it's such a shame Simon Pegg and Nick Frost muddied the waters by doing Paul.
Right.
Because the amount of people who think that's a Cornetto trilogy film, and I just thought Paul was bad.
I never saw it.
Oh, I thought it was terrible. Weirdly, it's a little bit like Red State. Funnily enough. It has,
weird.
It has stuff in common with that. It's a very different film, but it sometimes hits the same beats, you know what I mean?
Whoa, crossbow.
Oh, weird. I don't think I've ever used a crossbow in Fortnite before.
Huh. But yeah, I guess that's just my thought on The World's End. It's good. The one thing that kind of gets me is, like I say, I think out of all of them, it has them. Oh, shit.
I'm getting shot at.
Is that you being shot at, or is it me being shot at?
It's me being shot at.
Tell.
They might be shooting at you now.
I'm coming, buddy. Oh God, I had the wrong gun out.
Crap, I'm down in the mines.
I'm dead. They're gonna kill me. Yep.
Thanks for the commentary.
Yep. Oh yeah, Ninth Dimension game. That Titanic 2, absolutely, it's a joke.
Do you know? I think that's one of my favorite fake trailers, though. That's the one with John Cusack in from what movie is it? It's made of all the different. Are we talking about the same one? There's one that's been going around YouTube for a long time. It's got all the clips from different movies, and it's made to look like it's a movie about Leonardo DiCaprio being defrosted cryogenically. You seen that one?
No, I don't think so.
It's really good.
I think I've heard of it. So, you know, it's kind of funny with John Cusack. I can't, like, think of John Cusack or his movies without being actually a little, like, unsettled because of nothing he actually did, all right? And this is such a weird roadmap, all right? So strap in, people, how this is going to go. All right, so...
Consider myself strapped in.
Yeah, strap it on.
Strap it on? Sorry, that's a little different.
I mean, yeah, strap in, that's what I meant to say. So, here's the thing, quite a long time ago, this is many years, I used to partake of the devil's lettuce, alright? I've smoked a little marijuana from time to time.
Let's go to Tomato Town.
Sure.
I believe I've set a mock-up, but I could be wrong.
Okay, well, I don't believe you have, but
I'm
I
going.
jumped.
Hey! You coming?
Yep, I'm coming. And one time, and the problem is that whenever I've smoked weed, I don't ever really get like a really good reaction to it. Not the reaction that I always wanted, because I've heard of people, you know, who smoke weed and all of a sudden they get like super creative and they want to like make something and they want to, you know, create, and that's, you know, when I used to, that's what I want. Like, I'd want that reaction to it, right? Just kind of, you know, open up your mind and be able to do something. But I never got that. I instead would always get kind of, it's like, this is kind of extreme, but paralyzed. I would always just want to find a place to sit down or, you know, lay down, and I would either just lay there unable to move.
Are you sure you weren't accidentally smoking scorpion venom? Because I've made that mistake before. We've all done it.
Well, the thing is, I don't particularly like smoking scorpion venom. I'm a little bit more hardcore, and I prefer injection, which explains the large amounts of large scorpions that I keep in my house at all times. You know, it adds to the thrill because you never know when you're gonna get a hit. So, anyways, this one time I was smoking, and I was with some people, and I laid down. And while I was laying down, they decided to put on the soundtrack to Grosse Point Blank.
I've never seen that movie.
Me neither. I have not seen it. But I will tell you that the soundtrack is very good.
Fair enough.
But the problem is that me in my state, another big thing is I get paranoid.
What, Wisconsin?
Yes, Wisconsin makes me paranoid. Let me check this out. I have a scope. We're clear.
Where are you going? I'm up these stairs.
Oh, I'm heading for the circle. So I get paranoid. And there's something about the music in that film that really kicked off that state of paranoia for me.
Makes sense.
Because the thing is, like, it is a good soundtrack. It really is. I I don't know, for some reason, like, the music made me really paranoid. And so, to this day, whenever I see John Cusack or think of his movies or whatever, I get transported. I can't have women anymore in my life.
So, you just completely broke up for the last sentence. Or just re-say it.
Oh, sure. Whenever I think of a John Cusack film or see a John Cusack film, I can't separate myself from that moment in my life when I was super paranoid and unsettled, and it just kind of brings it all back to me. We could probably avoid these altogether. There's definitely been some people in here. I say we just go.
Run!
We're running. Alright, let's go to this grove of trees, alright? Right in front of me. Not the pine trees, but the
I'm right behind you, dude. I'll just follow you.
Alright, okay. Because I'm gonna set up shop here, and then I can watch with the sniper rifle to see if people are trying to come into the circle. Alright?
The circle must be broken. Let's do it.
Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, my mic was cutting out. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. It was very brief.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we're in the top 50. We made it halfway there.
Hey.
Do you know, that's quite a slow reduction of other players, isn't it?
Yes. Alright. I got nothing on the horizon. I'm kind of keeping an eye on these warehouses.
Oh my god, I've had to mute the mic to yawn like 3 times. I'm so tired. We're gonna have to make this not a very long show, otherwise I will literally fall asleep on there.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, question for the chat, I guess. What weird things put you in a different frame of mind? That just a weird situation.
Madeline Biscuits.
All right. Why?
Sorry. That's a literary reference, don't worry. I wouldn't expect
shit.
you to get it.
Oh, speaking of literary, now this is something that...
Vision is scary. Polluting the airwaves. Sorry.
No, but speaking of like literature and stuff like that, this actually is kind of hails back to the origin story of Those Aren't Biscuits.
Enter Biscuits.
Yes, Biscuits begins. Some of you might have heard this story already, but those of you who haven't, me and Owen came to know each other through an online writers forum. You know, there was a lot of teenagers. We'd all get together, share poems and stories and whatnot, and then mercilessly destroy each other with what we thought was criticism. Turned out just to be more or less aggressive positioning, you know, trying to make ourselves seem better than each other. Elitism was a very big problem with that forum. All right, let's move on. Let's head to Salty Springs. So, you still with me here, Owen?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. And one of the people
I see someone.
Oh,
195.
Oh, yep.
And someone else is shooting at them. Oh shit!
Me.
Behind us too.
Oh
behind
shit!
us
Behind us! I'm down.
No.
Oh.
Eliminated by victory in bound. Someone's cocky. That went well.
Whoa! Someone's firing a rocket. This is actually a pretty good fight going on right here.
I already skipped out, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Well, good God, we were walking right into a massacre. So one of the other people on this forum, his name was Patrick, who, you know, everyone, like I said, everyone kind of did the same thing. We were all a little mean to each other and stuff like that, and I think a good portion of the people who used to post on that site kind of, I imagine they still write, but it's not anything, you know, professionally. You know, I don't think too many people went on to become professional writers. Patrick, on the other hand, has, and his first novel is coming out tomorrow. It's
got my Amazon pre-order in.
Yep, so do I. Mine is arriving tomorrow, and it's a book called Some Hell. So if you guys are interested in all, check it out. Go on Amazon and look up a book called Some Hell by Patrick Nathan. It's his first book, so yeah.
But don't worry too much, because we're going to be doing dramatic readings every week for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's a great idea. I'm sure he'd love it.
Want to try retail roll?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you press to get the markers on once you put them
on? Right trigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, it's quite a distance we gotta go. But so I'm gonna. So yeah, I just want to throw that out to everyone. You know, it'd be cool. Guys, go check that out. I don't know 100% what the book is about. I believe it is a coming of age story about. I think it's about a gay teen trying to.
It's a post-apocalyptic genre horror in which robots have taken over the surface of the planet Mars and are using it to fire rays of danger onto a small town in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. And the main character is coming to terms with the fact that he might like boys. There you go.
By the way, everything I just said about the book is not true.
Right. All false. Except for the part. Yeah, I actually really like the. Oh God.
I accidentally quit out. Book. I'm sorry, John.
Oh. I probably won't survive much longer, anyways.
Well, what I like about it is it really does suggest an undefined quantity of hell. Yeah,
it's just some. I mean, not all of it. It's not all hell. Just some. Just a smidge of hell. You know, a smattering of hell.
That's why I like the title Quantum of Solace, because if you if you read the short story, it's about a husband who takes revenge on an unpleasant wife, right?
You're really struggling here, man. Bring it home.
And the title comes from the narrator basically saying, this is how things happen when not a quantum of solace remains, and it means like the tiniest amount of solace.
Mm-hmm.
And then they attached it to a movie that had absolutely nothing to do with anything, and was just like, Quantum of Solace, yeah! And when you watch it, you're like, why is it called this? It really means nothing in the context of the film.
Wait, is this for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were joking around.
No, that's what the short story called. James Bond's barely in the story Quantum of Solace. It's a guy telling a story to James Bond about how a different guy took revenge on his wife for sleeping around. I jumped, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm heading for the marker.
Oh, you're still gonna head for the marker?
Yeah, why not? I can make it.
Alright.
I'm like Robin driving down the arm of that statue on his motorbike. I can make it! Pull back.
I can make it!
I still maintain that was like the most dangerous thing Batman ever did to Robin. Like suddenly slamming on his remote control brakes while they were trying to drive down a statue.
Right. It's like, you know how badly that could have gone? Like whiplash, you know, broken face.
But wouldn't it be great if he just flipped right off and just sailed off the statue?
Oh.
The Joker did it.
I am gonna die.
It was that fiendish jokester. Again.
Again.
Well, I've been playing Arkham Knight, where all the way through the early hours of the game, and in the press release at the beginning, they were like, the Arkham Knight is this unique new character, nobody knows who it is. And everyone was like, is it Jason Todd?
Jason Todd?
It's a completely original character, nobody knows who it is. It's blatantly Jason Todd. From the first time he appears in the game.
Like, are you sure it's not Jason Todd? No, it's not Jason Todd. Are you sure?
Jason Todd's history in the comics is really interesting to me because when they first brought him in, he was actually, a lot of people think of Jason Todd as a post-crisis character because a lot of people don't realize that Nightwing actually left Batman pre-crisis, right? That is actually a pre-crisis plot development, right?
Got some action.
He was a little bit different and his reasons for leaving were a little bit different, but you know, Nightwing predates Crisis on Infinite Earths, right?
Right.
And Jason Todd was the second Robin before Crisis on Infinite Earths. But he basically was Dick Grayson again, right? He was the same character. And then Crisis on Infinite Earths comes along, and they're like, okay, and we're gonna redesign Jason Todd, make him a different. And I actually think that was a good idea. Like, make him different from Dick Grayson, make him the trainee who isn't the perfect Robin. That's actually a good direction if you're gonna revamp the character. That's what they did later on with Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne as a team up. One of the saddest casualties of the New 52, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of potential there. And so... But they bring him back as kind of a brat. And I actually think that's kind of great. To say, what if Robin is not a selfless, perfect
I don't know
kid?
what this is. What's the Jug Chug? Or the
I don't
Chug
know.
Jug?
I don't know what a lot of the new power-ups do, I have to say.
I'm drinking it.
Go for it.
It's automatic win. Nope. Oh, it's just a 100% shield. Got it.
Good to know.
Right,
So
we should be moving on.
So they post-crisis comes along and they restructure Robin as kind of a brat, and someone who doesn't, and a hothead who doesn't want to listen to Batman, and it turns out the public just hate him,
Right.
just loathe him, cannot stand him at all, and so they have that famous plotline where they basically kill it. Which to me, that is one of the most cynical, trashy things that ever happened in comics. The fact that people still remember that storyline as a classic to me is like, I hate that. That's part of the beginning of the end for me. People talk about the death of Superman. I think the death of Jason Todd was a big, like, blow for comics, really. We just let people...
Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of weird things that happened with that thing too. There's, it's come out since then that, you know, it might not have been 100% legit.
And the plan was always to kill him.
Well, no, it was...
One phone number 40,000 times.
Well, yeah, like a guy set up a thing with his own phone that would just consistently redial the number over and over again. Because you didn't have to talk. You just dialed the number, and it would just track how many times the number got called. So this one guy... It was basically the early version of people fucking with, like, the tomato meter.
Right.
On Rotten Tomatoes. And it was the same thing. He was just, hey, we're sub 50 now. Woo.
But that whole story really is written under the assumption that Jason Todd was going to die. In my opinion. I don't see how you could have found a different ending to that would have been a good ending to that story. Because the story itself's not bad. If you're gonna have a Robin die. I mean, it's goofier than I think people remember, because a large part of it involves the Joker becoming the ambassador to Libya and being able to commit horrible crimes because he's got diplomatic immunity.
Right.
It's a really dumb comic.
And the really bad thing about it is, honestly, it's the artwork in it. The Joker's face,
right,
during the scene where he's beating him with a crowbar, is the most cartoonish and caricature like viewing of the Joker I've ever seen.
It's like, the era of the massive chin.
Yes.
But that's actually my favorite type of Batman art. Like, I think Batman between the 70s and the early 90s is the time I like to see Batman. Because I happen to be a Batman fan, but I like Batman before Dark Knight Returns totally took over it. I think Batman Year One is actually a very good comic.
Yes.
Because Batman Year One is Frank Miller. When Batman wrote Dark Knight Returns, when Frank Miller wrote Dark Knight Returns, his explicit intention was to write Batman older than he would ever be in mainline continuity, to write an old Batman. Right. A grizzled old Batman that wouldn't exist in a normal comic. When he wrote Batman Year One, he was given
I also think he used it as a way to push some of his... oh god, I'm being shot from behind.
I agree, but I don't necessarily think that's a problem when you know that your book is never going to be canon.
Oh, I'm down.
Sure. I'm coming to do my best. Which was he wrote that on the understanding that it wasn't going to be canon, and when that's the understanding you write it under, that's okay. Do you know what I mean?
Just go, leave me be.
Just come back, I'm behind you.
Behind you.
Oh shit.
Just go, man, go. You must live on. Go, Owen, just leave.
Oh. If you'd stayed back there, I could have revived you before we got killed by the storm. There was time.
There was finally time.
There was actually legitimately time.
Alright, let's have one more run at this and then we'll call it, alright?
Okay. But, when you give Frank Miller the mandate of, could you write Batman's origin story in his first year and it's going to be the new canon, he writes a good book. Right. Because that was what he was asked to do. And like, there are things I don't like about Dark Knight Returns, but I don't mind the Dark Knight Returns for being what it is. But the Dark Knight Returns is essentially an Elseworlds story.
Right.
And the problem is, we've had this conversation so many times before, books that were commentaries on Batman became the foundation for how people should write Batman.
Right.
And I hate that.
Alright, so here's our last match. I do want you to run down your manga, if you have time. If you think you can get it in. Because I want to hear about this.
Oh. Which one? I read a lot.
Well, the ones you've been reading. The ones you want to talk about.
Okay, so I've been reading a lot of Junji Ito mangas at the moment because I've been in a kind of horror mood lately. I've talked about this before. When I can't sleep, I tend to read horror and watch horror movies, and the reason for that is when I can't sleep and I know I'm not going to be able to sleep, I want to feel more alert, and rather than just laying there passively half dead, you know? Mm-hmm. And I was in bed and I couldn't sleep, and I didn't want to get up again and go watch a movie, so I looked online for, best horror mangas, best horror comics,
I say we just wait it out till it forces us out.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. And the nice thing about mangas is that in Japan and with mangas, they don't care that much about copyright, so you can usually read them online.
Right.
Yeah. But I found out about this. There's an old comic I'd read a long time ago called The Enigma of Amigara Fault, which you can find online. Right. It's a comic by a guy called Junji Ito, who is basically, I'd say he's probably the most well-known horror manga writer, basically.
Sure.
And it's a really good story. It's about these hikers who are traveling to this place called Amigara Fault, where they've seen on the news that this...
Isn't that the forest?
No, it's not the Logan Paul Suicide Forest.
No, don't call it that.
Do you think that you don't think they're planning, the tourism board's planning on changing the name to that?
Oh God, don't. No, I'm not even getting started with that. It so fucking annoys me.
So Enigma of Amigara Fault is just a one-issue story, but it got me interested because it's this story of all these people on TV, all these people see on TV that an earthquake has opened up this rock face. And this rock face, someone landed here. This rock face has all these holes in it.
That might have been me.
Are you in the grass maze?
Oh, no.
This rock face has all these holes in it, and these holes are all human-shaped, basically. They are the size and shape of people. Ooh. And a lot of the people who see it on TV, after seeing the rock face, get this compulsion to go and see it for themselves, basically. And they don't know why. And all these people have congregated to see this shape, all these hole shapes. And there's like a little campsite of people outside just hanging around, kind of fixated on these body-shaped holes. And eventually, someone says... eventually two people find each other and say, oh, so you saw it on TV and you had to come here too? You were drawn here? I know why I was drawn here. I saw a hole that was just the right shape for me, right? The perfect shape for me, my shape. And he says, and I think I found it. And he says, look, it's exactly my shape. And he takes off all his clothes and he stands in the hole. And then he starts traveling forward because it's exactly the right shape for him. Every movement just pushes him a little further into the hole. He starts traveling down this hole. And this hole's deep. They don't know how deep it is. They can't find the other end. And eventually he goes far enough forward. And because the hole is exactly the shape of his body, no one else can follow him down. And they lose track of him. And he disappears and he never comes back. And that starts to affect more and more people. More and more people get this compulsion to travel, to find the hole that is the right shape for them, and to travel into it, essentially. And I would recommend going and finding this comic and reading the rest, but I'm going to spoil the ending because we do spoilers here.
Yeah.
More and more people start to disappear and travel down these holes. And then eventually they find another rock face over on the other side of the mountain that also has holes in. But these aren't human-shaped. They're weird, twisted, stretched out, odd, unusual, swirling shapes. And then the final shot is one of the scientists says, wait, something's coming through, and you see a light down the tunnel. And it's one of the humans from the other side, but now they're just pulled into the twisted shape of the new hole.
Oh, God.
Yeah! And that's the end.
Oh, wow.
That's that. But like I said, it's just a single issue comic. So I read that and I was like, wow, that's pretty good, you know? Pretty, very powerful imagery and that. So I went and I was like, so what else has this guy done? And I found that he'd done 3 long-running series. One called Tomi, one called Uzumaki, and one called, I think it's pronounced Gyo, Gyo.
Okay.
And all 3 of them are quite... He's a single author, so they've got different trends, but they're quite different. And they're all...
What should we do?
I don't know. Should we just wait it out and just travel with the circle today? Should we just be patient? Sure. We'll try and make this one last. Because we've been a little bit bold lately. So I read all 3.
Bold is not our strong suit. We're not barbecue sauce.
Most of these stories were serialized in other comics over months, because the way they publish in Japan is you tend to get one monthly volume that's fairly thick with lots of individual stories in, publishing month after month, you know? So I read all of them. And in fact, I got through each of them in a single night. Which is not to say they're long-running, it's to say they were pretty compelling. The first I read was the most recent, and it's called Gyo. And it's a take on a zombie apocalypse that is quite different. This one's the weakest, because it's... In my opinion, it was more goofy than scary. But the setup is this young couple are visiting... They're on holiday at a house down by the beach. And one night, the girl, she's very sensitive to smells, and she just smells the most appalling, unpleasant smell that seems to stick to everything, and she wants to leave. And they go home, but she can still smell it. She can't get rid of the smell. And they find that a strange fish with legs has crawled out of the water and followed them home. And this starts to become more and more often. They start to find more and more fish that have these weird metal legs attached.
Okay.
And they keep emerging from the water, culminating in a sequence where a great white shark riding a giant set of robotic legs attacks them.
Well, yeah.
But as they go to get them explore, as they go to find out what's going on, and they team up with the traditional sort of eccentric, isolated scientist that you get in a lot of Japanese movies and comics. He tells them a story about how his father during the war had developed a biological weapon that harnessed. It was a gas that when you infected animals with it, they would start producing this more and more and more of this nauseating gas. And the plan was to infect like cats and dogs with it and then run them into the battlefield and nauseate the enemy so they couldn't fight. But actually, it ended up infecting them. And the animals were too sick after they got infected to actually, walk in and produce it. So they tried to build these walking machines powered by the gas. And then the ship that was delivering them before it was tested was sunk by the Allies, and then that was it. And so they build this theory that's never really properly explained that basically the gas and the fish and the walkers all combined to create this apocalypse. And by the end of the book, it's moved on from fish because the fish have all just decayed and started affecting people. And it was interesting, but it was a very strange, goofy take on a zombie apocalypse where after you finally succumbed to this poisonous gas that was causing this horrible smell and killing everybody, you got attached to a walking robot legs that then carried you around to infect more people.
But it's I hate to say it like this, all right? I really do. But that is very Japanese,
Yes, it is.
They are very big on their body horror, right?
Right. And they were all very Japanese, but that was the most... That was the most goofy. So I read it and I was like, well, that was interesting, and I liked it. But the next one I read was the one he did before that. It was called Uzumaki, and that was, honest to God, a masterpiece. Genuinely, one of the most amazing comics I've ever read. And Uzumaki is incredible. And I really recommend you try and... You can also find this online if you need to, but it's also available to buy in good bookstores, I'm sure. Kind of amazing. Uzumaki...
Not bad ones, though.
Uzumaki builds up slowly, and it was serialized for a long time, and sometimes it's kind of episodic. So you'll have kind of self-contained episodes, and then arcs that build up over a longer period of time. And the setup is... there's a couple, again, who live in this small town. And I wish I could remember characters' names, but I'm terrible at them, so I'm going to forget them. But every day the girl meets her boyfriend off the train because he goes to high school in another town. And one day he starts getting a bit weird, and he basically says, I want to leave this town. I want to go away forever and never come back. Every time I'm in this town, I'm dizzy, and people don't notice it because they don't spend as much time away as I do. I'm away every day, and I come back, and I can see something about it that other people don't seem to be able to see. That this town is basically infected with spirals. And she's like, what? Well, and he's like, spirals are everywhere. Like, the water forms little whirlpools. The wind seems to form into little tornadoes. Everything that can fall into a spiral shape seems to become more and more a spiral shape, and it surrounds you, and it's just everything. Everything is spirals. And I don't know why, but they're in everything, and they get everything, and later on you find out that his dad has become obsessed with spirals. Anything he finds with a spiral shape on, he buys it. And he's got a whole collection of spiral art, and he stopped going to work. He'll sit for hours and watch a snail on a wall or anything like that. And he commissions the main character's father to make a bowl shaped like a spiral. And when his wife, because she wants him to go back to work, sells his collection of spiral things, he goes completely insane and starts to compensate for it by turning his body into spiral shapes, his tongue, and spinning his eyes around and things like that. And eventually he buys an old-fashioned wash tub, and they find him dead in a spiral shape, crushed completely inside this tub. It's pretty gross.
God. Japanese.
But it continues from there for quite a long time.
Should we go into the maze?
Yeah, let's do it. Exploring this town where the town is basically cursed. You don't find out what it's cursed with. They keep it mysterious, but it is cursed, basically.
Oh, there's people here.
So that anything could become twisted and unpleasant and horrible at the drop of a hat. Do you know what I mean? And it will probably involve a spiral shape. And I know it's such a strange, vague concept, but that's the premise. It is a town that is condemned to be warped and twisted and destroyed because it is infected with spirals. Like one of the schoolboys turns into a snail. It starts out with a shape on his back that becomes more and more of a spiral until it becomes a snail shell. He turns into a snail.
Oh, hello.
And just all sorts of things like that. There's a kid who gets hit by a car, and the suspension coil, because it's a spiral shape, gets jammed in his body. And when they go dig him up to check he's actually dead, he's turned into a jack-in-the-box. Sort of accidentally. Bounces through the cemetery, chasing them. So there's all kinds of grotesque imagery to it, but the story is absolutely gripping, and it builds up over time as they eventually become... As it becomes more powerful, they eventually become aware that they can't leave, you know? And the further away they try and get from the village, the more time changes. So every time you try and leave the village, you never get away. But when you get back, more time has passed in the village. And the whole town becomes built round and round and round in a giant spiral shape. And people become kind of desolate, twisted shapes of themselves. It is very much a body horror book as well. But it's kind of fascinating. It was absolutely gripping. There's one terrifying section where they discover that the mosquitoes in town have become infected by the spiral. They fly around in dopey spiral shapes, you know?
Sure.
And they start attacking pregnant women.
Oh, no.
And then when one of the characters has to go to hospital, she discovers that the pregnant women are infected by mosquitoes that are infected by spirals, and they are using tools to kill other patients in the hospital and drinking their blood. Because that's what mosquitoes do. And when the babies are born, the babies are all similarly infected and intelligent and begin a plan to have themselves re-implanted back in the womb. It's a really... Because
they're more spiral-shaped in there. Right.
It's a really bizarre, complex... Like, it builds up over time. Like I say, some of them, you get self-contained stories and more lengthy arcs, but it is absolutely gripping. And then the third one I read is a story called Tommy, which is about a girl who is killed by her classmates in a conspiracy.
Post up on this hill here and see if I can catch people coming in.
I'll hide in this bush and also keep an eye on things. And Tommy was interesting, but it's also his earliest work, so it develops over time. It doesn't get really good till the end, you know? And that's mostly an anthology series about a girl who was killed by her classmates, and they all took a piece of her away to hide. And then she starts to regrow from her body parts, and then the rest of the stories are all about how she is... she's basically a psychopath. She has no empathy for other people. She's totally selfish, and she's obsessed with being admired. But she can't be killed. And anyone who falls in love with her becomes compelled to eventually cut her up into pieces. But she can regrow from even a single blood cell, you know what I mean? It's a really strange comic. So they're all worth reading, but Uzumaki is absolutely worth reading for anyone, I think. If you can put up with it.
Right.
Because it is absolutely one of the most fascinating, weird, strange, compelling things I've ever read. Yeah, we're on the outside. 10 more to go. Yep. Let's do this.
Hold on. Let's wait it out just a little bit.
Oh, I know. I'm planning on waiting it out until it starts moving in, really. I've got my safety bush. You can bush if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
A safety bush too. Let me in.
Because your friends don't bush, and if they don't bush, then there are no bushes of mine.
B B B B U U U S S S S H H.
Safety
the
bush.
Bushy dance. Bushy dance.
I was like that
This is how it ends,
Futurama.
Owen.
Remember that?
You and me in a bush.
I always remember that Futurama. Remember that safety dance? You know, that wasn't that safe.
Oh, God. All right, we better start moving a little bit. Oh, wait, what's this building?
We got like a minute.
Yeah, but I don't want to be on the very outside where we have to rush, right? Okay,
I see a
where they're
building
at.
195, yep.
Yep.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends
I have a
behind.
sniper rifle. Maybe I can...
Because your
Can I get
friends
them from
don't
here?
dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. I'm just singing this now. Enjoy.
Yep. Let's...
Oh, we got
Let's
two supply drops coming in. Are they going to try and go for those?
I don't know. Okay. We're inside a circle in this little hut.
I'm coming, Johnny! Ba-ba-da-ba. Is that bait?
I don't know. I don't trust it, though.
Going for it. It's not bait, but it's not that useful.
Right. Alright, here we go. It's the end game. 7 left. So 5 people that aren't us.
Boom.
This is easily going to be our... Oh, 6. 4 people.
Let's do this!
It's the final countdown.
How are you for shield?
50.
Oh, okay. I'm at 52, but I've only got small potions.
Mm-hmm.
Is this gonna shut us in?
Oh god, we're about to get blown up.
No, we're not. We're safe.
Oh,
We're
I
just
thought I
gonna-
heard Oh god, we're gonna have to... Should we just pickaxe our way through and then make a run for it?
How about we take it gradually? Just one hit and then just wait so we don't call attention to ourselves.
God, someone's shooting rockets, man. We should really just get the fuck out of here.
Alright.
Run! Not good. Jesus. Oh, this sucks.
Luke's Connor says, what do you guys think of Red Dwarf? I like it.
It's good. Really hard to focus right now, though, on that. We probably shouldn't bunch up like this. I'll move. Oh, God. 4.
I don't
4
see
more people.
anyone.
Me neither. Me neither. I'm scared, Owen. I'm really scared.
Game over, man.
This little girl survived for 3 weeks on her own. Well,
Oh,
put
God,
her
I see
in
someone.
charge, man. Oh, where? Oh, I see one. Yep, he went into the... I see where they went. Oh, I don't think he sees me.
Oh, shit. Jump.
Oh, God!
Run, John.
Bandage, 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 bandage.
Where are you?
I'm right behind you.
Do you have bandages?
Yep.
Where is he actually firing those?
I have no idea. Oh, God. He's across the street.
Well, we're in the circle, and there ain't a lot of circle left.
Oh, God. Here comes someone.
Sorry.
Oh, I see him. 345. He's behind the shipping container. Jesus criminy. Oh, he was.
He's dead.
Alright, you got him?
And I got his rockets.
Nice. Alright, we got 2 left. Nope, there's more. It's top.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa!
It's on top of the tomato. Top of the tomato. Not that top of the, like on top of the building.
You said on top of the tomato, sir.
You're right. I did, Owen. I'm sorry. That is my bad. If I can get around on him. It's just two people left. I think he has to come to us. Oh, God. No, he got me. He got me down.
Any idea where he is?
Look for the trails of smoke, homie. Shoot there. Yep, keep shooting up there. There's one on the street. There's one on the street.
Stay that.
Oh, okay. No. Oh, okay. Yep. Give me up. They're coming around on you. They're coming around on you.
I'm really clenching my teeth, Jonathan. Shit. Oh!
We won!
Hooray!
Yeah!
We are the champions, my friend.
My friend.
And we'll
Keep on fighting
to the end.
to the
Bum,
end.
bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun. 'Cause we are the champions. We are the champions.
I didn't live to see it, unfortunately.
No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. Oh man, my heart.
I'm so glad I revived you now.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh god, I don't know how they didn't see you. I saw exactly where they walked, and like they had a clear line of shot on you. Woo!
Well, that was a good way to end the stream.
Yeah. So
The Harvey channel says that was
we're gonna be
awesome.
wrapping up
Well,
here.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if you like that, by all means,
Hit those like and subscribe buttons. Yeah, do it.
And so yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up here shortly. But as we always do at the end of the show, we're gonna open up for comments and questions for the last few minutes here. So if you got anything for us, any comments, any suggestions, anything, let us know.
Yeah, send them.
We'll hang out for a few more minutes and then we'll be out of here.
Did I tell you I'm seriously considering getting rid of Battlefront 2 before the next DLC?
If I would have purchased it, a physical copy, I would have already. I don't intend to play that again.
I gave it a bit.
Ooh, we get cool stuff now because we won one. I never got the umbrella and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I got an umbrella now.
Not my normal username, so of no use to me.
Whew. That was, man, never thought I'd actually win one of those.
Yeah. I'm pretty pleased. The Harvey channel says, is that your first win on Fortnite? That's my first win.
That's mine too, yeah. Ooh, you watched us break our Fortnite cherries.
Yay!
And they weren't gentle. It's actually kind of funny. That last bit is the well, we each got like 1 kill, I think.
Yeah. It went pretty well. I didn't actually manage to hit anybody with the rocket launcher, but I did manage to destroy the scaffolding he was making, which then got me killed.
Well, yeah, I saw you. First you blew up his little structure on top, and I think that forced his hand to come down on the ground. and there was someone else, like his partner, on the ground as well. You must have knocked down one of them, or he must have done it to himself, because I only shot one. And so I think he might have accidentally killed himself, because he was getting a little trigger happy with them rockets.
Well, I definitely got one kill because I killed the guy who dropped the rocket launcher I was using.
Oh, okay.
I killed that. You know the guy you said was hiding behind the storage container? He was just hiding in a corner. And he was pretty low on health, so he went down pretty easily. But I think that was the only kill I got. The Harvey channel says, Owen, do you know how to swap weapons? What, in Fortnite?
Yeah, L1 and R1.
It depends very much on what you mean. Swap weapons you have in your inventory, L1, R1. Swap weapons for the weapons on the ground, you just pick them up. Swap weapons with other players, you go to your inventory and you drop them from there. Pretty much, which is up on the D-pad.
Okay, we got another question is from Lou's Corner. I really wish there was a Red Dwarf PS4 Xbox One game. I know they have one on the mobile platforms.
That's pretty cheap. That's barely a game, do you know what I mean? It's a tie-in to the new series, you know what I mean? It's just it is basically just a gamey app, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like,
but I'd play a Red Dwarf game.
Like,
no. It's like the, it's almost like the companion app for Assassin's Creed, but a bit more game to it.
Oh, fair enough. Alright, well, before we wrap up, I just want to make another quick update. I'm still playing Persona 5, and I'm still really enjoying it. It's getting weirder and weirder and more complicated as it go. Which, it's kind of funny. I'm actually starting to... It feels very overwhelming, but once you start getting into it and starting to work out your own like schedules and stuff with it, it's very manageable. It's very strange how they managed to make that game, which is filled with a bunch of weird things and all these mechanics, feel very much like juggling an actual real life.
You are selling me on this game a little bit. I think I might see if I can find one of the old Personas and play. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I would love to do? This is what I'd absolutely love to do. Unfortunately, it would take us forever to do it. Because here's a little insider baseball, everyone. You know that project we've been talking about you know, me riding shotgun while you play a game. I think if you could get a version of like Persona 4 on the PS4, and that would be a lot of fun, but that would probably take us, if we did it once a week, we're talking years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of content.
That makes sense. All right, should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap up. Thank you all for watching. This has been your weekly pop culture talk show that we like to call Those Aren't Biscuits. I've been Jonathan Cadotte. He's been Owen Adams. Where can they find you?
Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Owen Adams. It's pretty easy.
And thank you, Lou's Corner, for tuning in. And thank you, everyone else, for tuning in. You can find me basically on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @JohnCPerson. That's Jon, the letter C, person. Or you can basically find everything I do on this channel, on the Not Biscuits channel, which if you haven't subscribed already, please do so now. Help us get bigger. We can do more stuff, honestly. And, yeah, this has been a fun stream, and I suppose we will see you next time.
We will indeed. Bye, guys!
Have a good one.